Knishta. There was a man that was praying behind the Beit HaKnesset. He was not turning towards the Beit HaKnesset. Chalaf Eliyahu Chazia Id Mileketaya. Eliyahu Navi saw him, and he appeared to him as an Arab. Look how you're standing before your master. Shalaf Staf He took out his sword and he killed him. You're standing before Hashem as if there's two different forces in the world, because everybody's praying towards one direction and you're praying the other direction. So that was a tremendous offense to the honor of Hashem. Eliyahu Navi killed him. Okay, we go back to the pasuk of Saviv L'Shaim Yitalachun. The end of the pasuk says, Kirum Zulut Livnei Adam. What does that mean? Amalei Ahum Rabbanan L'Rav Bibi B'Rabbai V'Amri La Rav Bibi L'Ranach B'Yitzchak. My Kirum Zulut Livnei Adam. Amalei Elu Dvarim She'omdim B'Rumo Sh'Olam. Kirum means these are the matters that stand in the heights of the world. Kirum, Rum means the heights. Uvnei Adam is Alzim Bahen. Is Alzim Bahen meaning Zulut Livnei Adam means people cheapen it. The Rasha, he's standing behind the Beit HaKnesset. He makes a joke, Zulut Livnei Adam. He turns around while everybody's facing and talking to Hashem. He turns the other way. Rabbi Yochanan ורבי אלעזר דעמית הוויו, כיוון שנצטרך אדם להיות פניו משתנות ככלום. When people have to come on to others and they need to borrow money, they become embarrassed and their faces turn like the face of Kerum. Shneimar Kerum, like the color of Kerum Zulut Livnei Adam. What's a Kerum in English exactly? My Kerum, ki ata ravdim yamar of echad yesh b'krachei hayam. There is a bird that lives in the cities, in the islands, on the other side of the ocean. Ukrum shmo. V'kivan shachamad zorachat mitapech lekam gvanim. When the sun shines upon it, he turns into several different colors. So when a person has to come onto somebody else, his face changes many colors. It's as if a person went through two different punishments. The punishments were of fire and water. You've placed upon our heads, we came through fire and water. Meaning that's the part of this pasuk here. That Krum Zulut Livnei Adam means it's like as if we went through fire and water, and that's the punishment here for. That's the way a person feels when he has to come on to others. A person should always be very, very careful with the prayer of Mincha. Eliyahu Navi, when he prayed to Hashem that he should help him on the mountain Hara Carmel, we know the story when he was fighting the Nevi'eh Habal. He was answered by Mincha, Shneimar Vayhi Ba'alot HaMincha, Vayigash Eliyahu Navi V'yomar, Aneni Hashem, Aneni. And the Gemara explains why he said it twice. Aneni, the first time he said, answer me, was Shetered Esh Min HaShamayim, bring fire down from the heavens and consume my korban. And also answered my prayer that I prayed to you that the people should not say that I was doing witchcraft, but that rather they should see that it's clear from Hashem. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Af b'tfilat avit, even tfilat avit, a person should be very careful. Shneimar, tikon tfilati kitoret lefanecha, mas'at kapai nichat arev. Let my tefillah v'abit be joined to the ketoret, which was brought in the afternoon, which was brought after the carbon tamid. that was the great avodah of Ketoret. And anybody who prays near the Ketoret is the tefillah of Avit. Which prayer do you pray near the Ketoret? That's the one that comes right after. It's Avit. And Rav Nachman Yitzchak Amar, Af Tfilat Shacharit is also very, very important. Shenemar Hashem Boker Tishma Koli. Hashem, in the morning, listen to my voice. Boker Erach Lecha V'Atzapeh. Person is being asked by this pasuk to pray in the morning so that Hashem listens to his voice. So we see how great it is to pray in the morning. So we see how great it is to pray in the morning, in the evening, and the afternoon. So therefore, each one of those tefillot, a person shouldn't make light of. Okay, I had a good shacharit, a good arvit, so mincha. Okay, no. Every single one has another great, is a very auspicious time to be heard. Anybody who takes benefit, pleasure from a wedding, but he doesn't rejoice and make the chatan happy, he's shaming 5 different voices that HaKadosh Baruch Hu blessed Klal Yisrael. Shneimar kol sason v'kol simcha. That's 2. Kol chatan 3 v'kol kala 4. Kol omrim hodu et Hashem tzva'im. That means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yirmiyahu Hanavi was prophesizing that right now the gates of Zion, the gates of Yehuda are closed and they're destroyed. But one day, all these 5 voices are going to return to Yerushalayim. The imisavcho mascharo. And if a person makes a chatan happy, what is his schar? He is zocha to the Torah that was given with 5 kolot. It was on the 3rd day, after the Jews were preparing themselves for Matan Torah. On that 3rd day, Vayi kolot uvrakim, ve'anan kaved alar, ve'kol shofar chazak meod. Vayi kol ha-shofar, ve'ho Elokim ya'anenu ve'kol. How many times did it say kol in this pasuk? 4 times, but one of them was plural, the first one. So that adds up to 5. And that's what he will be zochetu. So if you go to a wedding, you dance well, and you make the chatan smile, you know what you're zocheh? Torah. The greatest present. Says the Gemara, Eini, is that true? The Torah was only given with 5 kolot, voices. V'aktiv v'chol ha'am ro'im et ha'kolot. There's another pasuk that says that the nation saw the voices. Why didn't you include that pasuk? That's another 2. Otan kolot dekol matan Torah have. Those psukim, those kolot of v'chol ha'am ro'im et ha'kolot, are the same ones that we spoke about before. Which means the Torah is just repeating to describe that there were miracles. They were able to see them. But it's not a brand new pair of kolot that were heard by Matan Torah. Rabbi Avo Amar, everybody clear? I'm going very fast now. Okay, Rabbi Avo, if anybody has a quick question, please ask me, but today we're trying to really catch up before Shabbat. So, Rabbi Avo Amar.
Yes, why say they saw the sounds, but not heard the sounds?
That's exactly what the Torah is saying, that there was a miracle. They were able to see the sounds, whatever that means. But really it's not referring to a brand new voice. This pasuk is referring back to the voices that were mentioned in the other pasukim. It's just adding this little detail that there was a miracle that transpired with them, that they saw it. If someone is misameach al chatan, it's as if he brought a korban toda, because there in the pasukim of Yirmiyahu, it continues by saying they bring a toda to the house of Hashem. It's as if you built up one of the ruins of Yerushalayim. and you're building Eretz Yisrael. Shenemar, so if a person lives in America and he wants to really build up Israel, instead of planting a tree, what he could do is, he could go to a wedding and dance and make the Chatan happy, and he just built up Eretz Yisrael. Shenemar ki ashiv et shvuta aretz kivar shana amar Hashem. You can plant a tree too. It says ki ashiv et shvuta aretz kivar shana amar Hashem. The end of the pasuk, it says, I will return the returnees to the land like kibar shana, like in the beginning, amar Hashem. Any man who fears heaven, his words are heard. Which means, this is a play on the words, it's a drasha, not a play, but a drasha. That when a person finishes speaking, sof davar, hakol nishma. That person will be heard. People will say, oh, you finished? Oh, I heard that. I hear that. Why? Because he fears Hashem. My kizeh kol ha'adam. The end of the pasuk says, because this is kol ha'adam, this is the entire humanity. Amar Rabbi Lazar, Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, kol ha'olam kulav lo nevra ela b'shvil zeh. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, a man who fears me, the entire creation was only created for him. That's the purpose of the world, is to have human beings who fear Hashem. Another similar way is that this man is equal in value to the entire world. Rabbi Shimon ben Azai Omer ve'amri le Rabbi Shimon ben Zomar Omer. Some say it's Rabbi Shimon ben Zomar says, Kol olam kulo lo nivra elo l'tzavat lazeh. The entire world was created to join up and to help this person. The Amar Rabbi Chelbo, Amar Rav Huna, Kol Shodeh bechaver shu ragel iten lo shalom, yaktim lo shalom. If you know that your friend says shalom to you, you should say shalom earlier, before he says it. Shenema bakesh shalom verotfeu. You seek out peace and pursue it. Don't wait till it happens. You make sure it happens first. You see a friend, shalom. V'im natan lo, and if your friend said it first, v'lo hechzir nikra gazlan. Then you're called a thief. Shene'emar v'atem bi'atem hakerem. You have destroyed the vineyard. Gzelate ani b'vatechem. By stealing from the poor man which was in your house. Which means, what does it mean by stealing from the poor man? And if you steal from the rich man, you're not stealing? What does that mean? The answer is, there's something that you can steal from a poor person that's so poor that has nothing. What does he have? So he only has one thing. Dignity. He took it away from him. By not what? By not answering him shalom. So this pasuk is referring to a person. A person says shalom to you. He has no assets. You can't take anything away. But one thing you can give him and make sure that he still has is to return a good morning, a shalom, a smile, and you don't give it to him. So you stole from the poor man. Amar Rabbi Yochanan mishum Rabbi Yossi minayin she'akadosh baruch hu mitpalel. Shene'emar v'aviyotim el ha'akadosh v'simachtim b'veit tfilati. How do you know that Hashem prays? As it says, I will bring them to my holy mountain and rejoice with them b'veit tfilati, in the house of my prayers. Tfilatem lo nemet, it doesn't say their prayers, ela tfilati, mikan she'akadosh baruch hu mitpalel. Now what does he pray? My matzli, amar Rav Zuter Batuvia, amar Rav yiratzon milfanai. Let it be the will before me. Sheyichbu shu rachamai et kasi. That my mercy should conquer, should vanquish my anger, v'yagolu rachamai al midotai, and let my mercy overpower my midot, Ve'etnaheg banai b'midat rachamim, and let me conduct myself with my children, the measure of mercy. Ve'kanes lahem lifnim mishurat hadin, and let them enter the fnim mishurat hadin. Now, what does it mean? Hashem prays. So everybody wonders what this Gemara means. What is it? Hashem is praying to Himself. If you want to do something, so do it. You pray before yourself. If you have the ability, we don't have the ability to do anything, so we have to pray to the one that has the power. But He has all the power, so who is He praying to? What does it mean? There are many, many different answers. I'm going to tell you the Rashba's answer. The Rashba learns that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is really praying, really, He's hoping to us that we change our ways so that His bracha can manifest itself upon us. Because with the way He created the world, His will is that we should only receive His blessings when we are deserving of them. And therefore He's praying, hoping, begging of us, imploring of His children to do the right thing so that His blessings can be chal upon us. Beautiful. Tanya, we learned in the Braita, Amar Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha. Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha, the Kohen Gadol, said, Pamachat nichnasti. One time I entered on Yom Kippurim, lahakti kitoret, lifnai v'lifnim, in the inner innards, in the inner sanctuaries, in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. V'rayiti akatri keil, ko Hashem tzivakois, shehu yoshev, al kisei ram v'nisom, that He was sitting on the great throne. Now, who's akatri keil ko Hashem tzivakot? So he had like a feeling, a vision of Hashem. Many Mefarshim say Akatrikel is not a malach, because even malachim, with the Gemara Darshans elsewhere, don't enter Kodesh HaKadoshim. Ve'amali Yishmael b'ni barucheni, and he told me, Yishmael, my son, bless me. Amarti lo, yiratzil fanecha, shichbeshu rachamecha et kasra, v'yegolu rachamecha midotecha. V'tetnaheg im banecha mimidat rachamim v'tzikanes, lahem lifnim mishurat hadin. The exact same prayer that Hashem prays is what Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha gave a blessing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nian ali b'rosho, and he like admitted, he agreed to my bracha, and he had some sort of vision of shaking of his head, even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu of course doesn't have a head. But there's a beautiful pshat here that I saw from the Ben Yehoyada, that the pasuk says Mal ve'Hashem chon and dal. What does that mean? Someone who is kind to a poor person is as if he's lending to Hashem, because who's going to pay him back? The poor person won't be able to pay him back. So Hashem says, you lend to my poor people, I pay you back. You lend to me. So Ben Yehoyada says,
is that financially, or
yeah,
just being nice to them?
Everything, financially, or anything. So he says, Rabbi Shmuel ben Elisha is asking Hashem to be kind to the Jews. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Bacheni, bless me. What do you mean bless me? Give me something I don't have. Meaning, be nice to my children. Ask me to be good to my children, and then I'll consider it like you blessed me, like you gave something to me, like you lent me something. So therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is happy with what He did. And this also teaches you that a simple man's tefillah should never be light in your eyes. Because you see, who is Rabbi Shmuel ben Elisha, the great Kohen Gadol? But in comparison with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's very simple. And yet Hashem asked him for a blessing. So therefore, a person's blessing should mean a lot to you. And that's why we always ask each other for blessings. How do you know? The reason why we're bringing this is because it's another teaching from the same Amorah Rabbi Yochanan in the name of Rabbi Yossi. How do you know that you don't appease the person at the time that he's upset? while he's angry, don't try to calm him down. You can try to calm him down, but don't try to appease him, because he's still upset with you. As HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, Panay elechu v'anichoti lach. What does that mean? Moshe was imploring of Hashem to forgive Klal Yisrael by the story of the Egel. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was very bekas with us. Amar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu to Moshe, Hamten li ad sheyavru panim shel zam ve'aniach lecha. Let my face leave. The way my face is right now, in an angry face, let that go away. And then v'anichoti lach. Then I'll let you do what you want. I'll be calm with you. I'll be appeased. And therefore, he was teaching Moshe Rabbeinu how to appease the person and how to appease Hashem. Is there anger before Hashem? Okay? Meaning, is there a time of anger? We know that there is anger before Hashem. Now, of course, by the way, when we mention anger before Hashem, in general, you should just know, there is no, all these midot are the way that it appears to us. His wrath, his anger, all those things is because we get punished. But of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have, chas v'shalom, a temper or any angry moments or moods. Like now he's happy, now he's sad, now he's angry, now he's calm, now he's... Of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a kol yochel, he's perfect, but the psukim describe him in that way in relations to the way that we receive and feel him. So the Gemara is asking, is there a specific timing that Hashem gets upset that he says, let that time pass and then you can appease me? Says the Gemara, yes, the Tanya, the kills in b'chol yom. Because the pasuk in Tehillim says that Hashem becomes angry every day. He has a time. V'kama zamo, and how long? Rega. A small moment. And how long is that small moment? V'kama rega. Echad michamesh ribo shmonat alafim u'shmoneh me'ot u'shmonim shmona. 58,888th of an hour. Zuhi rega. Comes out to be 1/16th of a second. There are other texts here which would make it more like a quarter of a second. Drop more than a quarter of a second. This one's even less than that. This is a quarter of that. It's like a 1/16th of a second. No human being is able to really figure out when that happens. Besides Bilam Rasha. He knew the Dat Elyon, this knowledge of the heaven. Hashta Dat Ben Tol Haviyada. Asked the Gemara, Dat Elyon Haviyada. What's going on here? He didn't even know Dat Behemto. He didn't even know what was going on with his donkey, as we remember the story. Now you're going to tell me he knows what's going on above, in the heavens? He didn't know what was going on in the heavens, but he knew the moment that Hashem gets upset. The Navi Micha says, remember what Balak Melech Moav gave an Eitzah, and what Bilam Rasha ben Beor answered him. And remember, Leman Dat Tzidkot Hashem. If you remember the whole story correctly, it's very important to remember the story of Bilam and Balak, says the pasuk in Micha. Why? Leman Dat Tzidkot Hashem. So you'll know how righteous Hashem was with you. Meaning, Amar Rabbi Elazar, listen to this. Rabbi Elazar says, Amar Lahem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael, De'u kama tzedakot asiti imachem. Look how much righteousness I have done with you. Shelo ka'asti yimei Bilam Rasha, that I didn't get upset with you in the days of Bilam Rasha. Shilmale ka'asti, because had I gotten upset, lo nishtayem istonem shel Yisrael sayid palit. Nothing would have been left from the enemies of Yisrael, which is a euphemism and it really refers to us. והיינו דכאמר לי בלם לבלק מה הכל לא כבוקר. ומה הזום לא זעם השם. How can I curse if Hashem is not cursing? מלמד שכל אותן הימים לא זעם. Hashem did a great favor. בצדקות Hashem. Bilam was waiting for that second, that quarter of a second. All those days, Hashem didn't give him that second. He took off. The Kama Zamo Rega. Now, didn't we say this already? So some say that this Amora didn't know of the last Braita that we just taught. The Kama Rega, Amar Rabbi Avi Yitem Rabbi Avina Rega Kimemre. Rega takes the time that it said, the time that it takes to say the word Rega. That's how long the time is. Now, the Chavetz Chaim says that he timed it, and a person is able to say 200 words per minute, which would really be more like one word, 200 words per minute. So that's every second, 60 times 4, almost 3 point something, right? Per second. So here, what does it say in the Gemara? It says Rega Kimemre.
16th.
What?
It's 16th.
A 16th or a quarter. We said, right? It's 2 Gisois. So this, the Chavetz Chaim's timing works with Rabbeinu Tam's Girsa, that there was another number over here, and that would be a quarter. Okay, Chavetz Chaim was trying to tell us how much Torah we can learn. A person saying Psukim or Mishnayot or Gemara, and he's saying it quickly, he's able to get 200 words of Torah per minute, and the Gemara says that every word of Torah equals 613. So it comes out about 122,000 mitzvot per minute. If a person is learning Torah every minute, it's greater than any mitzvah that you could do per minute, because any mitzvah you do for 1 minute, you get 1 mitzvah. And Torah, if you learn for a minute, you get 122,000 mitzvot.
Walking with your tzitzit, every step you take.
Tzitzit is shkula keneged kol haTorah, kol mitzvahs. But you don't have to take steps for tzitzit.
So every second you see, even more.
No, but you sit at night, you don't have it. Why you can have it all night also.
Night you sleep.
You say sleep.
Okay? Yeah. Umenal de rega ratach.
Right now you don't have a mitzvah to teach.
Shenema ki rega be'apachayim tzorah rabotai. I apologize, I'm going weiter. Umenal de rega ratach. Shenema ki rega be'apachayim tzorah. How do you know that he gets upset for 1 rega? Because it says ki rega be'apo. 1 rega is his anger. But chayim b'tzono. But if he has the will, there will be long life anyways. The Yeshaya Hanavi says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, wait 1 moment until the wrath passes. The Eimaratach. See, the Eimaratach. And when is it? During the first 3 hours of the day, ki chivra kabarta de tarnagola. Normally, the top of the head of the rooster, I forget what it's called again, the crest of the rooster is usually red. But during the first 3 hours of the day, there is a moment that it turns white. V'koyach kara, and at that moment, and he's also standing on 1 foot. So the Gemara says, what do you mean? That happens every hour of the day for 1 quarter of a second, a short time. Kol shata v'shata nami kayhachi. So the Gemara says, Kol shata it be'shruki simuki. Every time during the day, there's little spots of red that remain on his crest. But be'hishata let be'shuraiki simuki. But in the first 3 hours of the day, there is 1 time where he stands on 1 foot and his crest turns completely white. That's the moment. What all this refers to, you have to see in Farshim. Obviously, there's something here. There's a teaching here that's teaching. Ha'ut stuki. Now, Rabotai, Tosfot. Everybody knows Tosfot. That asks, what can he say in that moment? Bilam is waiting for the moment for the quarter of a second, for the rega. What's he going to say? The Tosfot says he's going to say kalem. That's one answer. You say the word kalem. Kalem means finish them, and we find in the blessings of Bilam, which we know that Hashem turned everything around. It says utruat melech bo, and the love of the melech is in Klal Yisrael. Melech, the Mepharshim say, was the word kalem that Bilam was trying to say, and Hashem turned it around, and he turned it to the word melech. Okay, Ha'ut Tzduki, there was this. Tzduki, we know that Tzdukim were the Apikorsim who did not care about Torah Shabbal Peh. And the Rabbi Bishaluta, the Rabbi Shimon Levi, he was living in the neighborhood of Rabbi Shimon Levi. Every day he would bother Rabbi Shimon Levi with all his heretical questions from different verses. Yom Achad, Shakal Ternagola, one day Rabbi Shimon Levi had enough. He took a rooster and he stared at it. He placed it between the legs of his bed, and he just looked at it very carefully. Savar, he thought, Kimata hi shaita alatia. When that moment comes and I see that it stands on one foot and it gets a white crest, I'm going to curse him. Kimata hi shaita naiv. When that moment came, Rabbi Shimon Levi was dozing. He fell asleep. Amar shmamine lavarich lemevatchachi. I learned from this story that it's not derech eretz to do so, because v'racham al kol ma'asav, Hakadosh Baruch Hu has mercy on all of His creations. Ktiv uchtiv gam anosh latzadik lo tov. And it also says that when a tzaddik punishes, it's also not the best thing. Now, okay.
You can curse him without the rooster. No?
Wanted it to be very effective. Some Mepharshim learned that he should have prayed that the Tzeduki should have done Teshuvah. That's what he should have prayed. Tana Mishmid Rabbi Meir b'Shosha Chamazorachat v'chol Malchim v'Mizrach u'Marav Manichim b'Ketreim b'Rashem u'Mishtachavim l'Chama miyad koes HaKadosh Baruch Hu. At the time that the sun shines every morning, and all the kings of the east and the west, which means the kings of civilization at the time, because the north and the south were not yet settled, put their crowns on their head in their full glory, and they bow down to the sun. And that's the moment that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he becomes upset. Why? Because who's anybody to put a crown on their head? The answer is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mechalek kvodo lebasar adam. He parts with his honor to people. He allows people to be kings. They're basically playing, like a child plays house. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you want to play? I'll let you play. You can take a little bit of my honor. I'll give a little bit of... He allows it. He allows kings to exist. He wants kings to exist, which is a tremendous humility, the greatest humility on that, because there is no such thing. There's only one king. Hashem says, I'll let you have a little bit. But the point of it is so that people serve you, Mr. King, to come to me as a conduit. The moment that these people use their crowns and they bow down to the sun is the greatest offense. You're using the crown of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to bow down to the sun, which I created. And that's the moment that HaKadosh Baruch Hu becomes upset. Abotai, listen to this Gemara. This Gemara can change your life. How great is one... You give yourself... Madut means like you give yourself a smack. But of musar. We spoke about this the other day. In the heart of man, one good patch, like we say in Yiddish, that you give yourself in Musar, yoter mikama malkiot. It's better than getting lashes from Beit Din many times. Shenemar, because the pasuk in Hosea is describing Klal Yisrael like a zonah, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the husband, and the nations of the world are the gods of the nations. Excuse me, the gods of the nations are the Mina'ef, the person who the zonah goes to have relations with, and she's not faithful to, loyal to her husband, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends afflictions to Klal Yisrael so that they return to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Klal Yisrael doesn't know what to do. So it runs back to Me'ahaver, to the Elohei HaNechar, to those who she had relations with, to save her. V'ridfa et Me'ahaver. She runs after Me'ahaver. V'lo tasigotam. U'vikshatam v'lo timtza. And she begs them to help. Help me. She goes and prays to the idols. Klal Yisrael goes to the idols. And they pray, please help, we're getting afflicted with terrible things. Doesn't help. So she says, I know what's going on. It's bad news here. Let me go back to my first husband, to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let me do teshuvah, because it was better for me then than now. I see I made a tremendous mistake. So what really happens here is that a person tries all sorts of things, and then the person comes to his self-realization. He sits down one day and he says, it's not working. He thinks. He spends time thinking. He reflects about the issues in his life, and he runs back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So you see, he brings him to teshuvah. V'Reish Lakish amar yoter mi-mea malkiot, shenemar techad ge'ara b'mevin me'akot ksil me'ah. Like the pasuk in Mishlei says, it's better than 100 lashes, because it says techad ge'ara b'mevin. If someone lowers himself through the influence of a scream, of a good scolding, he scolds himself, that can be recognized on a person more me'akot ksil me'ah, than hitting a fool 100 times.
If so, why do we have makas then? Why do we need arba makas?
Because the person's not giving himself musar.
Oh, you mean a person, not somebody else giving him musar, somebody giving himself musar.
You're asking a very good question. I like it very much. The answer is, when a person is warned by the Eidim, don't eat the chazir, don't wear shatnez, and he said, I don't care. This person is not in the mode of thinking. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, give him some petch. Then he comes home and the petch hurt. He's sitting there with all his wounds. He's thinking, this is what's going on in my life. Now he does this. Now he does it to himself and he goes back. But if you're able to do this, you don't need that, and it's better than that. The Amr Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Yossi. So this is another way to get out of afflictions, Rabbatai. If you think about it. Start learning Musar. Pick a book and learn it. And you're going to avoid a lot of problems. There are 3 things that Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm going to start moving even quicker now, because before Shabbat I really want to catch up. These dafim are more than double the size, but I want to go into Shabbat, so let's try. 3 things he asked. He asked that the Shechina should rest. This is when he was praying after they did the Egel. So he wanted a full, complete reunion with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He said, I want your Shechina to rest upon us. That was given to him. He said to him, Halo belechtecha imanu. The only way that I'll be happy is if you walk amongst us. Right? You remember HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him, Yelech malachi lefanecha. Let my malach go before you. So Moshe Rabbeinu told him, he was the greatest advocate for Klal Yisrael. Imein panecha holchim al ta'alenu mizeh. If you're not coming, you're sending your malach, no deal. Unbelievable. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was about to destroy Klal Yisrael. Moshe implores, he begs Hashem. Hashem says, okay, I'll send the malach. Moshe Rabbeinu says, you send the malach? No deal. Destroy us. Uvameh yivada efo. Ki matzati chem einecha ani v'amecha halo belechtecha imanu. It's only if you walk amongst us, you come and you show her the Shechina amongst Klal Yisrael. He got it. He asked, not only that, I only want us, privacy, seclusion, only a relationship with us, no other wives. You marry us and nobody else. You're never allowed to rest your Shechina on the Goyim. Separate I and your nation from Mikol Ha'am Asher Al Pnei Adama. We read this in Vayecha Moshe on the Ta'anit. He also wanted to know the ways of Hashem. He didn't understand how Hashem is running the world. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, let me enter into your understanding. And he gave it to him. Teach me your ways. Then Moshe said, why is there a tzaddik that good things happen to him, and there's one tzaddik that doesn't have a good life? Yesh rasha v'tovlo, yesh rasha v'ralo. Two different types of rishayim. Amar lo Moshe, tzaddik v'tovlo, tzaddik ben tzaddik. Tzaddik v'ralo, tzaddik ben rasha. These things need a lot of explanation, but we're going fast now. Rasha v'tovlo, rasha ben tzaddik. Rasha v'ralo, rasha ben rasha. Basically, if your father was a rasha, then it's not going to be the best. But if your father was a tzaddik, then everything's okay. Yeah. So the way they explain it is that usually a tzaddik is able to deal with Yisurim much more than a rasha. Because a tzaddik is used to benefiting from this olam hazeh very little. He doesn't need it. He's enjoying other things. He's enjoying Torah. He's enjoying mitzvot. He doesn't need all the great things. So he can live with, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes him very poor, or such things, he's able to live with it much better than the rasha, which is seeking pleasure the whole day. So if the tzaddik grew up in the house of a rasha, his father was a rasha, he'll also feel the pinch. Because for him it's going to be harder to feel that, right? To become poor, because he grew up in a home that was seeking pleasure. Even though he worked on himself, but it's not so easy. So therefore, tzaddik ben rasha is a tzaddik that's rado. But a rasha, the son of a tzaddik, he'll have a pretty good life. Because even though he did averot and Hashem is punishing him now, he'll be able to deal with the punishments in a better fashion because of his education, his training when he was a child. That's the Chatam Sofer's pshat. Let's continue. Amar, there's a lot to say here. There's a lot of things. Very not clear. And if we were learning Be'iyun, then we would say more, but we have to go back. Amar Mar, Tzadik v'tovlo, Tzadik ben Tzadik, v'Tzadik v'rado, Tzadik ben Rasha. We're repeating. Says the Gemara, Eini, v'aktiv poked avot al banim, u'ktiv banim lo yomtu avot. One pasuk says that Hashem will remember the sins of the fathers on the children; He'll pay them back. And the other pasuk says, "Ubanim lo yomtu avot." Children don't die for their father's sins. So which way is it? It's a contradiction. And we ask one pasuk on the other. And we answer, Lo kasha, this is not a problem. If the children still hold on to their father's iniquities and their sins, they continue in their ways, then they get punished for their father's avirot. But if they turn better, then they're not responsible for what happened earlier. So therefore, the Gemara is asking, how can a tzaddik ben Rasha have a bad life? You say, Because for your father, what do you mean? I'm a tzaddik. And the pasuk says, "Ubanim lo yomtu al avot." The sons don't die for the father. Elahachi kamalei. Tzaddik v'tov lo tzaddik gamur. The Gemara is changing the answer and saying, a tzaddik that has a good life is complete tzaddik. Tzaddik v'ralo, tzaddik she'ena gamur. He's not a complete tzaddik. Rasha v'tov lo, rasha she'ena gamur. Rasha that still has a good life means he's not a complete rasha. Rasha v'ralo, rasha gamur. Okay? Everything we learned till now was that he asked for 3 things and he got them. That argues with Rabbi Meir, who taught us that he asked for 3 things, but he only was answered for 2. One wasn't given to him. Shne'emar v'chanoti et asher achon, af al pi she'eno hagun, v'lichamti et asher lachem, af al pi she'eno hagun. Which means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was telling Moshe Rabbeinu, sometimes people don't deserve things, and I give it to them. And that will remain hidden. I'm not going to explain it to you. You're not going to know. Okay? Vayomer, and he told him, Lo tuchal lerot et panai. Tana mishmei de Rabbi Yeshua ben Korcha. You cannot see my face. Kach amalo HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe. Ki sheratziti, when I wanted to show you my honor, my glory, and I appeared in the bush, the burning bush. Lo ratzita. You didn't want. You turned your face away. That's what the pasuk says. Achshav she'ata rotzeh. Now you want to know all the secrets. You want to see my glory, to understand how I work with the world. Any rotzeh. Now I don't want. What's going on over here, right? So now the Gemara brings another opinion. Upliga de Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani amar Rabbi Yonatan. Amar Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani amar Rabbi Yonatan b'schar shalosh. Zechar l'shalosh. In reward for the 3 great things that Moshe Rabbeinu did when the Hashem appeared to him in the bush, he merited to 3 presents. Meaning, till now we said that was a little bit of a problem. Hashem said you shouldn't have turned away. But that Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani learns that actually that was a great thing that he did, as we see that he was rewarded 3 presents for the 3 great deeds that he did by the burning bush. What were they? Because he turned away and he was embarrassed to look at the glory, now his face shone. Where when he came down from Har Sinai, from then on, nobody was able to look at Moshe Rabbeinu's face. Right? Ki karan or pano. B'schar ki yarei. The pasuk says he turned his face away. Ki yarei, because he feared. Zacha le vayir'u migeshet elav. That everybody feared from coming close to Moshe Rabbeinu. B'schar mehabit. In rewards from ki yarei mehabit, from looking. Zacha le utmunat Hashem yabit. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you can see the back of my tefillin. I'll let you look because you didn't want to look. Now, let's continue in the psukim. V'hasiroti et kapi v'ra'ita et achorai. What does that mean? Amar Rav Chana bar Bizna, Amar Rabbi Shimon Chasidim, Melamed she'ara HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe kesher shel tefillin. He showed him the ritzuot, the knot of tefillin, which means he showed him how everything is tied. What are the ritzuot? The ritzuot are tied to the tefillin. Where are they tied? By the knot. So when he showed him the knot, he showed how everything in the world comes together. But Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to see the tefillin. Show me your complete glory, whatever this means, right? We have no concept of what this means. So we would be wasting our time to try to explain it. But he wanted to see the full glory. Hashem said, no, that not. But I'll show you that you shouldn't have any questions and wonder, because everything works out perfectly. It's all one thing. And if this person wasn't rich, and this person wasn't poor, and this person wasn't that, then everything would fall apart and unravel. Everything's exact. Every moment and every second. Tremendous emunah we get from these gemarot. Any word that comes out of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's mouth for the good, he promises something good, even if it's contingent on he stipulates a condition. If this happens, then I'll give you a blessing. He'll never ever retract. Menalan, Moshe Rabbeinu shenemar, heref mimeni v'ashmidim. Let go of me, so I can destroy the Jews. Stop imploring, stop begging. And I'll make you into a massive, mighty nation. I'll make a new nation out of you, Moshe. Even though Moshe Rabbeinu got his way, he didn't let go of Hashem. And Hashem had mercy on us. Still, so now Hashem doesn't have to keep this side of the deal, right? He said, let me destroy the Jews and I'll make a new nation out of you. But what happened was he didn't destroy the Jews. So now he doesn't have to make a new nation out of Moshe. But since he said it, even though it was dependent on him destroying the Jews and making a brand new nation, and that didn't happen, he still made Moshe Rabbeinu's children a mighty nation. How do we know that? Psukim in Divrei Hayamim describe the children. The children of Rechavia, which come from Eliezer, which is the son of Moshe, Ravu. What does Ravu mean? They themselves became greater than 600,000 people. The descendants of Moshe Rabbeinu themselves, which is a whole nation of Klal Yisrael. Atir Revia, how do we know? Because it says Ravu, and Revia, Gzeira Shavar, we find that word elsewhere. Ktiv Achet says here Ravu Lemala, Uchtiv Atam, Uvnei Yisrael Paru Vayishitu Vayirbu. And we know that that is 600,000. Amrei Be'ochel Mishum Nabishim Yochem Mishum Shek Barak Kadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael Adam Lehoy Adam Shekarei Kadosh Baruch Hu Adon Ad Sheva Avram Ukarei Adon Shenema V'Yom Ad Hashem Elohikim Bamo Eida Kier Yirosheno. From the day that Hashem created the world, no one called him the master. Okay? Until Avraham Avinu. As he said, Hashem Elokim, B'ma'ida Kier Hashem. Amar Rav Avdani Lo Nana El B'Shul Avraham. Shenem V'ata Shema Elokeinu El Tfilas Avdecha Vel Technunav. Daniel asked Hashem, please listen to the tefillah of your servant and to his supplications. Liman, for the sake of Aleph Daled Nun Yud. Liman Chami Baile. He's talking to Hashem, right? So he should end off, for your sake, because of you. But he said, Liman Aleph Daled Nun Yud. Right? Adon. Ela Liman Avram Shekarach Adon. So what he meant is, for the sake of Avraham Avinu, which called you the master. The master means that nothing has powers. Till Avraham Avinu, everybody thought that the son is in charge of this, and this is in charge of that, and everybody has different things. And he said, no, there's one power, Adon. The Amar, Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Shimon Yechai, Minayin she'im ratzin la'adam b'shat kaso. By the way, there's a tremendous segulah. For people that want segulot, brought down in the Kadmonim, real Sfarim from the Kadmonim, to say Adon Olam with a lot of kavanah. It's mevatel a lot of things in a person's mind, and it helps a person have hatzlacha. That's a very tremendous prayer. That's like, you start off your day with tremendous emunah. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Shimon Yochai, another teaching from Rabbi Yochanan in the name of Rabbi Shimon Yochai. How do you know you don't appease a person when he's angry? We had this before. Let my face change over, and then I'll leave you. Until Leah came along, nobody thanked Hashem. Obviously, people thanked Hashem before the Mefarshim say, but no one thanked Hashem like Leah. That Leah said, this time I will praise you because you gave me more than my portion. Instead of having 3 shvatim, I had a 4th, and she named him, thanks, Yehuda. Meaning, everybody, when they gave thanks because they said, look, I did mitzvot, and you paid me up. And I really appreciate that. Thank you for making this deal that when I do mitzvot, I deserve things. Leah said, no. I don't deserve. That's the type of thanks she gave. That's a new level. Ruvain. Now the Gemara speaks about the names. Once we spoke about the name of Yehuda, the Gemara now continues to Reuven. Reuven amar Rabbi amar Leah. Re'u be'mini Reuven chami. Reuven. Look at the difference. Reuven. Look at the difference between my son and my father-in-law, Yitzchak Avinu's son, who was Esav. He sold his Bechorah willingly. Look what it says about it. After he sells it. Esav hated Yaakov. He fooled me twice. Lakach bichati v'ilu bini, but my son, even though Yosef took away his Bechorah not willingly, but he took it away by force. Dichtiv, as it says in Divrei Hayamim, uv'chalalo yitzuei aviv nitna Bechorato lefnei Yosef. After the story that Reuven switched the beds, it was given to Yosef. Afilu lo kanabe. My son still does not. This is, by the way, in the future. He was just born, right? But she saw the future. He still does not have any jealousy of Yosef. Dichtiva yishma Reuven v'yatzileu miyadav. Reuven was the greatest friend of Yosef. He tried to save Yosef. Ruth, says the Gemara, what's his name? My Ruth. Amar Rabbi Yochanan shezachta v'yatzav mimenu David sherivahu le'akadosh baruch hu b'shirot v'tishbachot. Ruth means that she satiated. She overflowed the cup of HaKadosh Baruch Hu through her grandson, who sang so many songs to Hashem of Tehillim. Kosi Revaya, like David HaMelech says, Revaya, root comes from that language. You keep feeding Hashem more shirot v'tishpachot. How do we know that a person's name causes his future? A person's name is his essence, and it causes his life to turn out the way it does. Look at the deeds of Hashem that He made shmama, desolation in the world. Al tikri shemot. Don't read it simply like that. That's the simple pshat. But you could also be doresh ela shemot, meaning look what Hashem does according to the names. Now Hashem plans it all out, right? That's why we have Ruach HaKodesh, and we name it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes everything work out perfectly. The wrong education in one's home that steers a child away from Avodat Hashem and ruins the child is worse than Yoter Mimilchemet Gog uMagog. Worse than the wars of Gog uMagog. Shenemar Mizmor David b'vachom mipnei Avshalom bano. David said a prayer when his son, when he was being chased and running away from his son Avshalom. Uchtiv batrei. And the next pasuk says that David HaMelech describes his son, Hashem marabu tzarai, Rabim kamim alai. How terrible are my enemies, my foes. So many are coming upon me. But how does he describe the war of Gog and Magog? Not so bad. Meaning, what are they going to end up doing? Nothing. It's going to be yegurik. They're going to work for nothing. It's going to be a big war. It's not going to help them. It's going to be a joke. David HaMelech is describing the war of Gog and Magog. It's going to be a great big battle, but it's not going to help them. But when he's describing his son's, the problem that he has from his son, he says, "Oy, Hashem, marabu tzarai, rabim kavim alai." This is what's going to be. So you see that the tzara, the calamity of a child going off because of the education at home is worse than the mechama of Gog and Magog. Mizmor David b'v'chom b'nei Avshalom b'no Mizmor David. So why is this a mizmor? It says a song. He's crying to Hashem. Kina David, a lamentation of David. It should say Mibayli. Amar Rabbi Shimon Rabbi Shalom Mashal Mal David Domer LeAdam Sheyatza Alav Shtachov. Kodem, a person has a shtachov. He has to pay up a debt. Kodem Shapara, before he pays it, Hayat said he was very sad, right? Because he has a huge debt, right? $100,000, and he doesn't have what to pay it. After he pays it, he's very happy. Afken David. Kevan Shamal HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hineni mekim alecha ra'am mibetecha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him, you're going to have something very bad that's going to come out of your house. Haya atzev. Amar shema eved o mamzeru. Delo chayes alai. Maybe the person that will fight me from my household will be an eved or a mamzer, which will not have any mercy on me, and they'll persecute me to the very end. Once he saw that the person that Hashem was referring to was his own son, he rejoiced. So even though he's crying to Hashem, so we learn from David HaMelech that even though he's begging Hashem for mercy from his son, Hashem, it's worse than Mechemet Gog and Magog. Still, he calls it a song. There's still something. You have to see the silver lining also. It could have been a lot worse. When you go through problems, thank Hashem also for how good He made the problems. He could have made those problems worse. You're allowed to fight with Rishaim. Start up with them. In this world, like it says, Ozve Torah Yehaludu Rasha. Can I go 1 or 2 more minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah? As it says, the people who forsake the Torah, the Rasha will praise them. The Rasha loves those people. V'shomrei Torah yitgaru bam. The people who guard the Torah will fight with them. Tanya nami yochre b'dustoi b'Rabbi Matan Omer mutar litgarot b'rishayim b'olam hazeh shenemar ozvei Torah yahalu Rasha v'gomer v'im lechashcha adam. If someone whispers into your ear, Lomar, to tell you about Ketiva, al tischar b'marei. There's another pasuk that says, don't really start up with Mireim, bad people, al tekanei. And don't be a kanai, don't be a zealot, be'osei avla, with those who do averot. There's another pasuk that seems to contradict this. Tell him, when he tells you that pasuk, Emarlo, misheli bo nokfo, omerke. That pasuk is only referring to someone whose heart is beating and worried about his averot. A guy who has averot, he's not so sure about his status, he shouldn't start up with Rishaim. But if you're a tzaddik, that's the way a person that has averot will translate this pasuk. But the real way is Ela al titchev amereim liot kamereim. Don't compete with the Rishaim to try to be like them. Al tekaneh be'osei avla. Don't be jealous with the people who do averot to be like them. Liot ka'osei avla. Don't be jealous of their lot in their life. Do not be jealous of the sinners. Rather, from those people who have Yirat Hashem, that's what you should be jealous of. But of course you can start up with them. That's not what the pasuk is saying. Eini, says the Gemara, is that true? Rabbi Yitzchak taught, if you see a Rasha that's having a lot of success right now, the sun is shining on him, everything's going good, don't start up, because it says they'll have success in all of their time. And if you go to judgment against the Rasha, that's everything's going good, you'll lose. They'll win. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu removes all judgments from that Rasha at that time. Everything's going good for him. The pasuk continues describing that the Rasha will see the downfall of his own enemies. Look, Kash, it's not a problem. If the tzaddik has his own issues with the Rasha, and everything's going good for the Rasha, don't start up with the Rasha. He'll destroy you. But if you want to start up with him because of matters of heaven, you want to defend the Torah, no problem. Go ahead. The Ibaytem and other answers, both of them are speaking about spiritual matters. You're right. There is a teaching. If the Rasha is having it good for him now, don't even start up with spiritual matters. Lay back, lay low. But the other pasuk that says you should fight is talking about when the Rasha is not having the best of times. Then you can fight him. A third answer is both of them are talking about a Rasha who Hashem is smiling to now. But if you're a tzaddik gamur, go ahead and fight him. It doesn't matter that everything's going good for him. But if you're just a plain regular tzaddik, don't stop. It sounds like the tzaddik swallows. The Rasha swallows the tzaddik. Doesn't the other pasuk say that Hashem will not allow the tzaddik to fall into the hands of the Rasha? No, nothing bad will happen to the tzaddik. But it means that tzaddik gamur and balea, he can swallow someone who's a greater tzaddik than him. He won't be able to swallow or harm the tzaddik gamur, but just someone who's a greater tzaddik than him, he does have power over. The ibayetema, last words, misacheket lo shan. When Rabbi Yitzchak said you shouldn't start up with the sha'im, he was speaking about a tzaddik that was not a complete tzaddik. He should not start up with the Rasha that everything's going good for. And when the Braita says that you could start up with the Rishayim, that was speaking about a tzaddik that was also not complete, but the Rasha himself also wasn't having the best of times. Rabbi Chananya ben Akasha Omer, Rotza HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Zakas Yisrael,
Let's get with him.